Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Friday night. We are here for Fan Friday. That's right, a late night edition of Fan Friday, as I let you guys know the last couple of days. Quite busy during this holiday season, but my little nephew, Bryson, big shout out to him. A happy birthday to he. And look, it was a great time. Not going to lie to you, I had a real great time. And I was pondering if I should make this late night, if you sickos were going to tune in or not. I was not sure. But look, I'm still excited about this damn game. Was talking about the game. It's obviously always on my mind. And this season's about to come to a head at the regular season, and the playoffs are about to begin. So excitement in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all excited here for this game. I know I see the negativity out there. We take it all in stride. Let's go. But we're standing through it, man. We're going to stand right through this storm, and we're going to, dude, I'm telling you, the team's going to get hot right at the right time. We're going to whoop some ass. But I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your questions, your topics, whatever the hell is on your mind this week. We're in week 17. I cannot believe there's one more regular season game after this. Like, what? I feel like we were just counting down the days and doing draft breakdowns, talking about every damn position. Now that's coming back soon, just to let you know. A couple of months, we're going to be right back to it, man. So all about it. Love the offseason, love that stuff, but I'm also ready to make that Super Bowl content. So let's go, baby. Hope you're all having yourselves a great week. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. Hope you're ready for the new year. Got your resolutions all in the chamber, ready to ride. Let's effing go. I jump over here to the chat, and let's go. We got Big Dom in the chat here. Yo, sickos, that is exactly what I was looking for. And if we didn't have Fan Friday, we were going to have Sicko Saturday. Don't worry. But look, I thought about implementing that on Saturday nights when I can, just to get pumped up the night before. And for these 1 o'clock games, that's when I like to do that, because we actually get pumped up. We know we get to wake up, not have to freak out for too much of the day. We actually just have to go through the morning, try to stay sane. Then we get the game. And you know I'm going to make that pregame show get you pumped up then. So let's go, baby. Maybe we'll get there, but still got so much going on this weekend. But I appreciate you guys taking the time this Saturday night. Samuel, China, Mario in here. Let's go. We're getting this party started. And, let's go, man. And I'm definitely a little under the weather, as you can probably tell from the last couple of videos, but just trying to fight right through it, baby. Nothing's going to stop this train, just like the Philadelphia Eagles. We got our issues here, but we're going to keep pulling right through, man. So, CJ, appreciate you tuning in. Let's go, Birds. I can't wait for this matchup, man, because we all know who's coming to the link. Nina, let's go. Love to see this party really getting started here. I thought, 11:15, not sure. And boom, here you guys are. Let's go. I know you sickos are here with me, you diehards. And look, I understand the pessimism. We've talked about the issues we have seen. We're hopeful that they work on these things. And the reason I'm not jumping ship here is because the things you need to work on are all things that you can do yourself. You don't have to sit here. Let me get a little closer here. You don't have to sit here and lose your mind. Fire coaches in week 17, get rid of people going into the playoffs. What you want to do is figure out what the hell the problems are. And the problems you got are not that you suck. It's that you're just kind of beating yourself. It's the teams aren't better than you. Just get that out of your head. The people that are saying that stuff, that's cute, but we know what this team is made of. This offense, unacceptable what the play calling has done. And look, the players have had issues, executing. Jalen Hurts is the quarterback. You got to look at everything as a whole. I'm not, Brian Johnson's first year as a coordinator, he should be the best coach ever. That's not my mindset here. I am under the understanding that this team was going to have bumpy roads. Yes, I wanted this team to be clicking on all cylinders after the bye. Really thought we would be, and then we beat the Chiefs and Bills. It was like, okay. And then we lose those 3 straight. And look, I understand, people were very upset, but look, it happened to the 49ers. The Cowboys have lost a couple. Look, these things happen. Other teams are losing. We have the best record in the NFL. We are tied with some other the Ravens do, but we're tied there for the best in the NFC. And I think that, really, we just got to win these 2 games out. You never know what could happen. You see what the Cowboys got to deal with. You see what the Lions are playing them. You see that, obviously, the Niners, they got the Rams divisional matchup. So hope you guys are pumped up. I'm pumped up, and that's what I'm talking about, my man. That is what I am talking about, and let's go, Birds, little G. Appreciate you tuning in, and it definitely went by way, way too fast. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I enjoy making these shows and doing it, but like everything just flies when I do these shows because literally my free time is creating these shows and doing these things where I have no life at all, and I just don't. It's insane, and I think that obviously, you guys know my passion for the Eagles. I love it. I don't care. I love talking about it, but it just sucks how much it just everything goes by, and I don't even really get a chance to really enjoy, some of the things I did before I had this channel. I used to be able to watch other things and partake in things, and now it's like I'm trying to be that thing, So, but it just flies. It is seriously insane. Like, I cannot believe we're in week 17. Oh, we're in here for the late night. Appreciate you tuning in, Liz. Let's go. Fan Friday was not going to be stopped. And look, I really, I pondered it, but it was like, nope, I know people are tuning in here. So love to see it. Appreciate you all tuning in here. And look, we've got it right there. And, the Niners, they have, my brother-in-law is a 49ers fan, talked about, it just the Rams, they're hot right now. They're obviously a divisional opponent. They're always going to put up a fight. So they could beat the Niners, and we could definitely get that 1 seed. So you hear people jumping ship and this, we got to fire Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson and Hurts is this, that. We got to bench him. Like it's ridiculous at this point. But this team knows who they are. They got to get their head out of their ass. That's all we have to worry about. They need to stop giving any attention to the media. AJ Brown has done it. I love that. Like, I love that these guys, it's like, look, man, don't listen to the fans talking trash. Don't listen to the media that doesn't know what they're talking about. No one cares. We diehards, we sickos, we're riding with our Philadelphia Eagles straight to the top, baby. And look, people can hate on that, feel whatever way they want about it, and they have all season. But I'm going to continue supporting the Eagles while breaking down what their issues are. And, we talk about it daily, weekly, each and every year. But I think that, clearly we've been harping on these things the past few weeks because you got to get this right before the playoffs. We know these turnovers, these penalties, right? And especially at the times they're coming, they got to stop, man. You got to stop killing your momentum. You got to just stop shooting yourself in the foot here. And we talk about the offense, getting more creative. And we asked for, more 12 personnel, more pistol formation, more just, actually just less, just shotgun RPO, every effing play, running the same 8 plays. Like, we talk about adding motion, but not just to add it, to actually, do something to the defense, give answers to Jalen Hurts before the snap. Like, there are ways to benefit your team. And, we talk about how teams are blitzing us, why we don't have hot routes, why we don't have these reads for Jalen Hurts that if he is getting, under pressure, he doesn't have to save us every time. We're putting him, in harm's way doing stuff like that. And so it's things we talk about each week, and you always see people and say, oh, you don't want to fire everyone, so you don't break it down. It's like, no, I actually just break down what the problems are. I don't know why there's this just apparently this thing's just going to kick me off. I don't know if you guys heard anything I was saying there, but look, man, let them hate. What, dude, this team, we got some magic brewing. I'm telling you. Do you think Jonathan Gannon has an advantage against it? Well, any team that's going to study is going to have an advantage. But when you've been a part of the team, you're going to know them, and when you practice them every day, yeah. And we've talked about that all week. This team. So good question there, Samuel. But of course, he's going to know what her strengths and weaknesses are. But I mean, any defense should be able to do that by watching the tape, doing that. But you get a much closer look. So sure, maybe that gives you that 1% extra advantage there. But either way, you should be studying. And Gannon, he is a good defensive coordinator. He has a good defensive mind. Nick Rallis, I like what they're doing together there, even with a lot of injuries and young pieces. And they've had their struggles. They're last in the league against the run. We talk about being able to beat the living hell out of them. We should be able to. But we talk about the creativity, the things that this Eagles defense was able to do the last couple of years, and, breaking sack records, #1 against the pass. Like, there's ways if people are executing that it works. And obviously the way Sean Desai tried to run this defense, he had his issues. You got to be really smart. You got to be athletic, and you don't have to be the fastest, like, most athletic person in the world, but certain positions got to be able to do certain things. And I just think that, obviously it's going to shut people down. I think Jalen Hurts should be able to whoop this kind of defense. Bend, don't break. Okay, well then dink and dunk on them, break some tackles. You've got slant masters, dude. Devontae Smith, AJ Brown. I mean, you should be able to destroy them. Goddard over the middle. We talk about it. Their linebackers are banged up. Even, you got Kaiser White and Josh Woods on IR. you got to attack the middle because Owen Popo is questionable for this game, and they've got Chris Barnes there, the free agent they had from the Packers. So this defense is banged up. They've got a lot of injuries there. And I mean, again, there is absolutely no reason shouldn't be able to run the ball all over him to continue to get creative. And last week you saw them getting creative against the Giants. It was actually like they were doing things that we talked about all week, like extensively. And, it was nice to see. We talked about tight end 2 getting some, and Calcaterra right off the bat was getting some. You talk about Alameda getting more involved over Quez Watkins. You saw that. So things look like they're changing. They're adding motion. They had the pistol formation. They were running 12. They did a lot of things that I thought, okay, this is showing me you're working on things. But then you see the fumble to start the second half. You saw the Goddard pick 6, with him slipping. I just think stupid little mistakes, and they keep happening. You don't want to see it each week. But we got to get out of our own way in these last 2 games. No better time to do it. Last game at home here before the playoffs. Go whoop their ass. Jonathan Gannon, just beat the living hell out of him. I know a lot of these players want to do that. And, then you go to the Giants Stadium. You show them what this game should have looked like this past week. You really build something, and then you go into the playoffs and you just beat everyone's ass. That's all you got to do, man. You're 0-0 in the playoffs. It does not matter. And if you get that 1 seed, then it goes to Philadelphia. They're all doomed. But I don't care if it's the 2, the 3, the 5. I don't care where we are. I really think that this team, we're going to get things going here, and I believe in their leadership and their talent, what they're doing here. I think they're going to get things right, and with the defensive changes, things are working on getting Avonte Maddox, Darius. So, I've been telling people, keep sleeping. Wait till Avonte comes back, and you see everyone becoming a fan again. Dude, you're going to see it. And Slay will be back for the playoffs. We're getting, Morrow back this week. Maybe Cunningham, he's questionable. Look, a lot of things to get excited about here. So, and look, you talk about divisional matchups. They're always going to be tough, and the Rams are a good team. So, do not sleep on the fact that the 49ers can lose because they're not as great as everyone thinks they are. And look, they beat us. Give them their flowers for that. But guess what? We were running through that gauntlet, playing late games. They all, the Cowboys, the Niners, they all get 10 days rest while we're getting none. Look, for me, this team's going to be a much different team in the playoffs, and we're going to be hungry and ready to whoop some ass. Watching Eagles, Dolphins highlights, man, what a change since then. And you look at the injuries, you look at the things, and you added Kevin Byard. You mix things up again. You're trying to get continuity, but things keep happening. Linebackers getting hurt. I mean, there's just the corners going down. Everybody's getting banged up. Bradbury falling off. Things just kind of happen, and you need that change. You need Ringo to get put in there. You need these things that are happening. You need the young guys that we talked about in the offseason. Be patient, and if they're needed, hopefully they're ready. And looks like a lot of them are really doing their thing. And this offense, you just got to get clicking, man. We've got way too much talent to not be, and we're putting up points, man. We are moving the ball. People don't understand that. It's so funny to see the media like, oh, this team sucks. And it's like, dog, we're still one of the best. We're like top 10 in yards and points. And it's like, we're 11-4, man. Hey, man, I get it. And that's why I break things down, because I want to talk about what we can do to be better. But I don't understand why it's either like, if you're not saying fire and cut everyone, then you're not breaking it down. Like, that to me doesn't make any sense. Like, bro, I'd rather just actually talk about it, but I don't think they know what they're talking about. So kind of leaves that huge void where it's like, well, how can I do that? But I don't know what I'm talking about. And yeah, having him back and Puka Nacua just keeps getting better and better. They're really clicking right now. Demarcus Robinson stepping in, and Tutu Atwell was doing well. And for him to seat him, that just shows how well he's doing. So defense, they got Aaron Donald. They got some nice young pieces there. So don't sleep on them. Dude, whatever. I hate this computer. I hate YouTube. They just love crapping all over me. So, oh man, just ridiculous. But, you guys love to see you chatting out there. You guys can see I'm running on fumes here, but these fumes, they're still burning for that damn. We got that fire burning for this game because, man, I'm pumped up and I want to see. I'm so happy it's a 1:00 game. I'm ready to get pumped up tomorrow morning with you guys. Ready to get pumped up in the afternoon after we whoop their ass. Talk about how one last game. Oh, we're going in strong to these playoffs. I truly believe it. Let's effing go. Crap, just clicked off that. If the Cowboys don't beat the Lions, I'm looking at my hate for the team. Well, as I told you, I just don't care either way. Eagles just got to do their thing, and maybe the Lions will lose the next week. But I'm never going to root for that team. But as we talked about, it will benefit us. So it's a win-win, right? And they were, right? And you saw things, and they were. I was telling you guys, I was like, I hope you were thinking about me when all those things, you started seeing them happen. And I was like, thank you. Like, it's for me, it just seems insane. And I get it, man. Like, you have a very talented roster. You think you can force your will on others, but you haven't been doing it. So you kind of got to just get back to the basics and certain things that I feel would help you out. And it's, if I can sit here and do that, you would hope that a room full of lots of coaches can do that. Is what it is. And I'm not trying to say like I know more than them. Like, oh, I'm just saying like it just kind of seems insane when we're in week 16. You're like, oh, now you're finally doing these things. Like, but they're doing them. And that's all I ask. If you get right in the playoffs, and it's like, hey, what if we've got this whole section of the playbook we're going to open up in the playoffs, and you get maybe, and everybody said like, what if we're waiting for Penny? But it's like, I don't think that's happening. But if something were to happen, you got a tough back that, cold weather games, maybe he comes out there, stays fresh, and runs over people. I don't know. But I think they like the run game the way they have it. Kenny G, I know they like what they have. So we'll see. But, and let them. I truly prefer, to be the underdog. I actually hate when, we get all these bandwagon, because I hate, the comment section. I can't even like get to you guys that are truly fans of the Eagles. And it sucks because it's just like whining and whining. It's like, dude, don't you ever want to just talk about what the issues are? We could like talk together and break it down. Like, you don't always have to come in and be a dick. Like, oh, you suck. You don't know anything. It's like, oh yeah, I just kind of get all these things right, and I don't know anything. Sure, dude. Like, it's just at this point, like, it's annoying. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. It just kind of gets weird. Like, you are obsessed and follow these people in the media that don't know anything and never get anything right. But I'm supposed, okay, weird. Maybe if they could hold a candle to what I'm doing, okay, but they don't. And look, getting those guys back, huge, right? So, and that's why I keep you guys up to date each and every day with that kind of stuff. So that. And look, there are tiebreakers for that stuff. If they tie though, if the Lions and Cowboys game and we win, like, we can still, like, things still work out well. So we just need more wins than them. So yeah, tie would benefit us. It's just the way you look at it. The Eagles win their 2 games and just kind of hope for the rest to fall into place. And as I said, 1, 2, 3, I don't care where. Now, I'd love to have home games because I'd love to go to the NFC Championship game again this year, but this time ensure that we're sent off going to the Super Bowl the right way, because I just But yeah, I'm going to be kind of busy, but I'm definitely going to be checking it out. I've got Jahmyr Gibbs in fantasy. That started yesterday, went against Breece Hall. Great. That's great. My defensive players sucked. So I'm like, oh, don't do me like this, but we're going to be just fine on Saturday and Sunday. We're going to finish it off with the championship here. I got to check got to check a lot of boxes here, and they're doing that. They're working on things. So I think that this team, they know what their issues are. They know, and they're frustrated that they're not doing them. They're going to get things together, and don't let the media create their narratives and these other content creators that want the clicks and just making stuff up to create drama. Like, this team is together. They are not falling apart at the seams. We're not getting rid of everyone. That's not happening. I don't care what they say. This team's going to get it together, and everyone's going to become the biggest Eagles fan ever. Oh, I actually knew they would. I'd see. Sure. Geno Smith, I'll take them all, baby. And, Stafford, he can, come get it again. We already beat them earlier this year when Cooper Kupp came back. And look, a good team, and there's a lot of good teams, but we, in my opinion, can get back to being the best team in the NFL. All those things we've talked about, for months now, but a lot these past couple of weeks, really just trying to pinpoint the issues here. And this defense, I really think, is, a whole different beast of things we talked about. And having Patricia on the sidelines, Desai in the box, these guys working together as they do each week to game plan, whatever dynamic it needed to create where Patricia's putting in the right personnel and we're doing things. I think, you've seen some hope, but you saw it before. And I feel bad for Desai, being the scapegoat there. But, you saw good games from these guys. And you saw times where you're like, oh, man, if they're healthy and they're clicking on all cylinders, they're going to be all right. But then you see times where you're like, what are you doing out here? And it's the guys that are the starters. It's not even injuries there. So you just got to realize it's the NFL. People have good games, they have bad games, and you want to be dominant all the time. But unfortunately, this is not last year, And funny enough, you remember the year before that one, everybody wanted to fire Steichen and Gannon in their first year as coordinators. And you saw the chaos there, but it's like, sometimes you got to be a little patient. And think this team, there's no reason to give up, man. I understand it's been tough, tough sledding as of late, but we're gonna be all right. Yeah, you always want to take care of business for sure. My man Tyree in here. Let's effing go, baby. Appreciate you tuning in, bro. How you feeling about the game? I'm feeling pumped up, man. And I think that, this was asked earlier. I think he knows, and obviously he knows what Sirianni wants to do. He knows Hurts. He knows all these things. And we talk about, of course, there's an advantage to an extent, but I think anybody really, as a defense, you should be able, you're in the NFL, you should be able to be knowing everything. I would be finding out everything about every play, what your tendencies are, everything, man. I'd be a sicko. But look, the thing about it is, Jonathan Gannon knows, but it's football, man. Even if you think like you could kind of try to use that against him. He might, so now you got to think of Sirianni also knows Jonathan Gannon. So what are Gannon's weaknesses? What are his strengths? What does he like to do on defense, offense? And, you got to, what does his offensive coordinator like to do? So I think that, this is a two-edged sword there. Sure, they might know a little about us, but we know about them too. And we've got a much better team. And I don't care about Kyler Murray. The one thing, he uses his legs, and you got to watch out. And whether you're spying him or doing whatever, you still got to get pressure on this kid. And I just don't want to be picked apart by someone like Kyler Murray and watch him, use his legs on you. I don't want to do that. So this defense, getting healthy at the right time. And look, I don't think that Avonte Maddox needs to necessarily start. I'm glad he's playing, but we've talked about it. I don't care. They could cap his reps, and I'd be pretty happy with it. So we'll see. I think Kaylee Ringo's done fantastic. And, I think that we talked about that. People talk about he has to move to safety. He's a bust. That, like, it was crazy. And it's like, dude, he's a rookie playing behind all these people. Like, there's no rush for him. And then as soon as he starts playing, he's doing well, man. And we needed him to, obviously, with the injuries. But you look at it, he's played fantastic. And right at the right time where James Bradbury's had his struggles. So you hope that you get Slay back. You talk about Maddox coming back. So Slay, Ringo, Maddox. We talked about Bradbury. Maybe you could use him as a dime backer, move him around. Sure as shit, that's what you are seeing, ladies and gentlemen. So I love it, man. When they start listening to what is, and I'm not saying I'm the know-all here, but I'm just saying, like, things that would benefit the team. It feels really good. Like, oh, wow, okay, so I'm not crazy here. You're just taking your effing time here. So, but I'm excited about the young man, and we talked about a lot. Someone just said to me the other day in the comments how bad Howie's been doing in the drafts, and it blew my mind. Like, I just literally named off like what was going on. I'm like, you're watching, right? Because no, man, this year was fantastic again. And, from Jalen Carter to Nolan Smith to, Tyler Steen, right guard at future, hopefully. And you look at Sidney Brown, Kaylee Ringo, adding those pieces, Tanner McKee, backup quarterback, Moro Ojomo, I like these pieces. So thought a good draft. And I thought Ringo, what a steal it was. We talked about him. I had a third, fourth round grade on him, falls in the fourth round. I know a lot of people felt he could go in the first, second. Some people thought he was a complete bust. Whatever you thought, who cares? The kid needs a little bit of work, and he got that work. Now he's going to have his issues playing because he's still young, but I'm very excited about the future of that kid still. In your opinion, your educated thought, do you think Nick is more in charge of the offense? Is Nick Sirianni the head coach in charge? Yes, he is in charge. He is not the play caller, though. No, that is Brian Johnson. But what a head coach does, especially when they're an offensive-minded coach, what they'll do throughout the week with their offensive coordinator, all of their positional coaches, all these different coaches, the, assistant head coach, dude, everybody, they come together and they game plan. And obviously Nick Sirianni as the head coach is the leader of that. And they decide what they're going to do to attack. And, they also have backup plans, things fail, what you want to try to do. But they come out, usually you design your first 10 plays. Like Sirianni doesn't like to do that. But, you come out and you try to, implement what you want to do. But obviously things change, but you get an idea of what you want the game to be. And, obviously you want to do certain things against certain teams a different way. And if it doesn't work, obviously we talk about it, you adjust. But Nick Sirianni is the head coach. Like, and we talked about this as a play caller, like you're calling plays, you're doing, if Nick Sirianni doesn't like that, he's the head coach. All he does is, no, we're going to run this, we're going to do that. Or, this is a fourth down, or this is important. He's going to be the one that's like, yeah, we're going for it. Yeah, we're doing this. Like, he is the field, he decides what goes on there. So everybody has their role. But Brian Johnson is the play caller, but Nick Sirianni is the head coach here. And yeah, man, I was talking to my source about that, who, he's like, dude, he was used as a scapegoat because this whole team is ass right now. And like, when you're hearing someone that like works with these dudes saying that, it's like, well, I don't want to say it, but like, it's cool talking with him because he's insane. Like, he knows what's going on. So we really, it's fun talking shop with him. We get to break stuff down, and, it's just like, we talked about all these different issues, but it's like, dog, we've seen these guys like with the side here, like the Dolphins, as China was saying, she was watching earlier, like you've seen against the Chiefs, against the Bills, like these things where he's adjusted in game, he's done well. And, a lot of times the player's not executing, not tackling, giving up certain plays where it's like, well, bro, that play works if the player just does what he's supposed to. So, but look, whatever needed to change, we talked about it. Now, I didn't think anyone was going to get fired, so he didn't. That's why they demoted him. And it's, some people like, oh, it's so weird, but it's like, no, man, they did it to Howie before and it worked out. Like, maybe they're just really are putting him on the back burner and just trying to teach him some things, and we'll see if he gets got rid of. But there's the thing. I don't think you want to do that stuff when, fans get mad at me for saying I don't want to fire our head coach, already halfway through the season, or get rid of our quarterback who's, in the MVP race. It's like, well, I mean, we're at the end of the season here. Like, let's not show this team like we're giving up. Like, you do that, and then you're like, not only you're telling the world, but you're telling yourselves, like, we got issue. Like, we got real big issues. Now, still doing that move, it's like, but hey, man, whatever's got to happen, it's got to happen. So, yeah. But, and look, yeah, sometimes you got to do certain things to get things going. Now, I think this offense, there's just certain things that they just got to, that's all of them. That's the entire bunch, just from, Sirianni to Johnson to Hurts. Everybody's got to get on the same page about, that creativity we talk about the different personnel, about just doing things differently where you've got the talent. I mean, attacking the middle of the field. Like, that's something they didn't do last week. And I'd still like to see them start doing that. And, just, you're always going to have that though. Like, that's what people don't understand. Like, each week you're going to be able to break these games down and say, okay, I've got issues here. Like, that's every game, but you're also like, you want it to be less, clearly, and you want more good. So clearly, when you're a good team, you're going to have a lot more good. And we want to be back to that standard, right? Where the standard is the standard. Yep. Well, let's get back to that. But stuff happens, man. It's the NFL. Like, literally, we have to understand the context of each time while we're struggling. And that's what I try to do here. So, but hey, man, stuff had to change. It is what it is. So, spoke with the meaning is if he was OC, not to give the Seahawks an advantage. Well, and the thing is, he is still considered the defensive coordinator, so it's really weird. But they talked to him once, and then they haven't talked to him since, and they kind of just talked to Patricia now, which is kind of weird. But he kept it real, man, and it was nice to see that. See, going back on what he said, our defense is very diverse. He said we lost the Super Bowl because of him. Yeah, man, he's gonna do all he can to backtrack, and he's about to enter a world of hell, dude. It's gonna be probably the loudest ever, dude. Well, not ever, but it's gonna be pretty rowdy. But yeah, and I try to help people understand development. I mean, with Hurts, that's the clearest one, but I do it with all of them and try to understand certain ones are going to take longer. Certain ones we need. Jalen Carter is going to be playing. Nolan Smith not going to be playing. We talk about why, and then it's like, oh, Nolan Smith's a bust and it's like, no, dude, he's really skinny and he needs to beef up and he needs time. Like, we knew that, but he's behind Reddick. He's behind Sweat. He's behind Brandon Graham. Like, we don't have to rush, because the media and fans are upset. Like, no, dude, we want to build this thing for the future. Like, we want to be dominant for years to come. And clearly you got to do it this year, but you got to develop these people. They're rookies. It's crazy, but I did not like that either. But I'm with you, Liz. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I'm with you here, China. Seeing fans attack him and then seeing like the media, like the national media, then making fun of like Eagles fans, like, dog, that is not all of us. And I was just having this conversation tonight. Like, I don't like people like, oh, Eagles, and it's like, bro, we're not all like that. We don't. And this new age one is trying to make us out to be the Cowboys fans. Like, don't make us out to look like Cowboys fans that attack their own players, go after, quit on their team just because things look tough. Like, damn, dude. And I know that just last year everybody hated me because of Nick Sirianni, Howie Roseman, Jalen Hurts, but it's like, dog, stop quitting. And I didn't have a bunch of you sickos out there, unfortunately, but you found me now. That's all that matters. But it was tough sledding, and I tried so hard with these people, but they're just, I hate this person. I'm going to attack them every day on social media. Like, why, dude? What does that accomplish? Like, to me, I don't understand it. I'd rather just talk football, but especially I would just, as human beings, I just like to support them. I'm a fan. I don't play for the team. I'm just going to be a fan. It's weird. But I didn't grow up with social media, so it's a different world. It's really weird. The way people turn on how I did have AIM, instant messenger, guys. Okay, so I'm not that old. We're not talking about like, never mind. Way some people turn on now because yeah, man, and they just did that like a couple weeks. I was like, dude, I'm still actually getting comments like, dog, and no, literally just yesterday. And to that person, don't worry if you're still trying to talk trash. I will get back to you because I've got a list again of comments. It's not CVS receipt long. Well, it's kind of long, but I'm trying to get back to you. I always try to, but it gets so overwhelmed with people that want to get rid of everyone and fire everyone. It's like, dog, like we could talk about the kind of stuff like that, like in the off season when like it's time for that. Like trade deadline's over. People still telling me how we got to trade people. It's like, okay. But the Howie one, I remember last year, people telling me how crazy it was, how bad he was. Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf. That's all they kept saying. And I was like, dude, you just wait till we go to the Super Bowl this year. And you guys know, for you sickos that were here, you saw me. I got to meet Howie for a second time, and I got to talk with him for a good 10 minutes there and really chop shit up and tell him, look, we're going to the Super Bowl this year. I truly believe in you. And to actually do it, wish we would have won, but it was pretty awesome, dude. And to hear people talking so much trash, it was like, okay. And then they found out real quick and everybody just flipped. And I think about week 2, the Vikings game. I think everybody was pretty much like, I'm actually the biggest Jalen Hurts. I actually have supported him from day one. And they just went right to those Twitters and delete. It's so funny when you like people will like out there boasting about how they've been the biggest Hurts fan. And then all you got to do is just type in their @ and then Jalen Hurts. And if you scroll, you go past like 2023, 2022, and they've never said a word about him ever. And it's like, well, that's weird. Don't you think you would have talked about him for the couple of years? Oh, you were talking. You just needed to go ahead and delete that. I don't blame you. But get the job back. Yeah, I'm hopeful for him. I like this kind of defense, but we'll see how Howie, and if Sirianni, because I know he likes this kind of defense. I do too, if he wants to continue doing it. But let's get Vic Fangio up again. Yeah, man. Yeah, we talked about that last year for sure. But I'm just grateful we run that same kind of style. So we'll see if they continue to want that. They want someone differently. We'll see. Didn't see him backtrack. Oh, man, it's so funny. But he is going to – oh, yeah, I saw that. I saw Sirianni. He is going to feel very uncomfortable, and I'm really looking forward to that. I can't wait. So that's insane. Like, for me, I was just like that. When I played, I grew up watching T.O. I wanted to be just like that. I watched Randy Moss, Chris Carter. I mean, I wanted to be. Now, Chris Carter wasn't. He just had them hands, baby. But someone was just talking about that the other day, and it made me think of that. But I was more of the Randy Moss. Grew up watching Steve Smith, Chad Johnson, where they were a little more boisterous. A.J. Brown doesn't talk too much, man. He just kind of gets frustrated when things aren't going well. He is a really, really, intense guy. And I love that, dude. I want a player that gets pissed off and wants to win. Like, and it's so funny to see the media and these like other content creators. You can tell they've never played because it's like, oh, season's over. And it's like, if you go watch a Chiefs game or something, they're like throwing their helmets at each other. And it's like, no, that's fine. Actually, like we can't even like be yelling stuff. And it's like, oh, you never played football? Because I can assure you, like if you think a couple, cuss words and people yelling at each other is all that happens, dog, it's happening the whole game. You just got to get your cameras, moving around there. You'll find them. But they're calling for everybody, and people are calling for my head, dude, because I just don't agree with it. And it's like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I'm just going to keep trying to break it down for you. I'm not going to listen. It's like, okay, well then don't comment if you're not going to listen, because what's the point? If you're not going to have a conversation, you're just going to try to tell me. It's like, I don't care, man. Like I'll be real with you. I want to talk to you guys, you sickos, you like literally you diehards that want to talk football. That's all I need, man. So I won't get it either. And I don't want to get it. I don't care. Yeah. And they think they are. And look, if they could come close to understanding the cap and the things like that, then maybe they could talk about it and understand it and be able to help others. And I've done that for people, but then they take my stuff and run with it, and then they don't know what they're doing. And it's like, well, dog, you should have got the password before you stole the phone because now it's useless to you. You know, it is what it is. And yeah, man. And look, I think that people, they just get carried away with these young cats. They're wild, man. And yeah, and then people just feel like oh, I got all these subscribers. It's like, that's cool, man. But you got to understand that when the masses are all in agreement with you, that's probably a bad sign. Like, I'm just being real with you. Like, you've seen everybody goes against me usually every year about something, and who ends out on top? Like, that's cool, man. That's great that that's what everybody's saying, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with what's actually happening. And if, it happens to be what they're saying, then okay, cool. But most of the time it's not. So, that's why they always get things wrong every single time they talk about football in the media. It's weird. But it's whatever, dude. I'm just going to keep doing it for you sickos. That's all I ever want to focus on. I love you guys. I want to talk football, man. I don't care about them. Skylar Murray's first time playing here at the link. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I know we played him, but I don't know. Bunch of silly OG. Yep, that's it, man. The ESPs of the world. It's wild out there. But hey, let them hate. But that's funny. Little silly hoes. Yo, what's going on, my man? And yeah, that's exactly what I said. Swagger McDaddy, my man. Let's go. I want a 40 piece. I want to beat them badly. I want to literally stomp them into the ground, and we do that by running the ball. But not just that. I want to see Jalen Hurts in the air. I want to pick them apart. I want to be scoring in 2 minutes in the first half. I want to go up. I want to be up 38-6. They get 2 field goals miraculously in the first half. That's what kind of game I want. And I want the second half to just being ass beating, where we just run the ball right down their throats. The old days. Then the starters are resting. Everybody's good to go. You do the same damn thing in the last game. Yes, you get everybody, Avonte's slowly getting put back in, and then, maybe Slay's back next week. He gets, you get a little continuity here with the guys. I'm just trying to be hopeful, trying to stay positive. This team needs some hope, man, and I'm right there with them, and I'm hoping for it. So let's go. Let's go. Instagram accounts always using the phrase breaking news. My opinion. Yeah. It's brutal, bro. It's brutal. Pedal on the gas, all about it, baby. So let's go stomp them into the dirt. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get heading out. Voice is leaving me. I am running on fumes here and got some things to do. And then tomorrow, you're going to get the practice squad elevations. Some roster moves are coming your way. I'm letting you know, I thought Alberto would be cut, but now he miraculously threw up. Jeez, I'm losing it. He ended up on the injured report and with a knee or a hamstring injury, I think it was. So he's going on IR, and Avonte Maddox is going to come off of IR. That's what's going to happen before 4 o'clock tomorrow. And then at 4 o'clock, you will get the practice squad elevation. So if they elevate anyone, I will let you know. If they don't, well, I'll let you know that too. And you'll get the updated depth charts, all that great stuff that I do for you every single week. But you know what I'm going to do for you right now? In case you missed it, let's take a gander at this depth chart here. You go watch that game status report video, see who's questionable out with all the explanation stuff. But here's the depth chart. You can see Alberto questionable with that knee. I'm telling you, his ass is going to end up on IR, but everybody else good to go there. On defense, you have Slay out. Cunningham is questionable, hopeful to get him back, but everyone else good to go there. Avonte Maddox, a full participant last 2 weeks and off the game status report this week. And everything good to go there on special teams. Now, I will show you the Cardinals as well. Kyler Murray, questionable. So, yeah, all right. But he had an illness. He was limited today, I do believe. Again, you can go check out that video. But he is hopeful to play. They think he's going to play. They put Marquise Brown on IR, so I'm sure they're going to sign someone to the active roster at wide receiver, make some roster moves. I'll keep you up to date with all that stuff tomorrow. On defense, they had to put Jonathan Ledbetter, so I'm sure they'll sign an interior defensive lineman banged up there. But you got Owen Popo at linebacker questionable, as I mentioned earlier, with Kaiser White and Josh Woods already on IR. That could be pretty serious for them. Garrett Williams has been banged up. If he is out again, Andre Sacheret, former Eagle, will step in there and start at nickel corner again for them, as he has with Garrett Williams out. So dealing with a few injuries for both teams. I will let you know tomorrow if there's any updates to that game status report. If anybody is out or, gets improved to, ready to go, I will let you know. But appreciate all you sickos tuning in for this old late night edition here. Really cannot thank you enough for all this. Really happy that you guys stepped in here. So I'm pumped up all about it. But hey, I'm going to try to get some sleep. I hope you guys will tune in tomorrow. Check that out. Maybe we'll have a Sicko Saturday if I have some time tomorrow night. But who are they got? You can go check out either Behind Enemy Lines, get to know every single player at every single position, their depth chart, all that. Or you can go check out the top matchups where it goes through every single position and breaks down the matchup against the Eagles. But go Birds! And you just saw them there on the depth chart. But if you want an explanation, all that stuff, you can always go check out those videos explaining every single thing you need to know for this game with all the stats, standings, everything, individual stats for each player from each team. If you guys are actually into football, I see people always asking, the media won't do this. It's like, well, if people really want that stuff, I mean, there's a show that literally has all that information. I mean, I know it's not for everyone. You got to be a true sicko to like that kind of stuff. But football is definitely not for everyone. It's more, about like the freaking out hot take stuff for some people. That's weird, but no doubt. Beat him into early retirement. Who are we beating into early retirement? I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Oh, Gannon, I think we're talking about. I'm losing my mind. Traded mid-round pick for Alberto. Don't know how we just cut him. I don't think it was a mid-round pick. I think it was a late pick, to be honest with you. Excellent timing. Thank you. Hey, no problem at all, my man. You're sorry. See, I try to keep up with this stuff, but then I'm trying to show you graphics and I got to click to a different thing over here to do that. Trying to produce the show. Well, one day I'm going to have a producer who's just going to I'm going to have a graphic designer and I'm going to have people to do these jobs and not just me. But yo, Obi, appreciate you tuning in, my man. Let's go Birds. Just about to roll out here, but cannot thank you all tuning in here enough. And look, we got a new year coming, baby. And as I said, tomorrow, we're going to have that practice squad elevation show. That's not going to be a live one. So maybe I will try to get one. But either way, you can expect to see me Sunday morning live for the pregame show. And the inactives will come out around 11:30. So I'm going to try to do that show around 11:45-ish. We'll see if I can get it in there. And we'll get pumped up for the game. Then, of course, I will have the post game. We'll be talking about, win, lose, or tie. We'll be right here, baby. So, no Hollywood Brown, indeed. He is on IR now. Popped up the hamstring. They were just swapping with it. Yes, that is what I was just saying there, as you guys heard. Wait, what is out too? They're Lysell. They're going to have a tough time for sure. Kaiser White is on IR. So is Josh Woods. You guys can go check out all those shows. And if you guys ever can't find that, there are playlists. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but there's a playlist for every week where it's got every team, all of the information behind enemy lines. So every week, if you're looking for what's going on, you can always go right to it and you got all the information you would ever need. And hey, I try to make these as many as I can live so I can talk with you guys. Always appreciate you taking the time. Love hearing from you. Love getting your questions. And we deal with the crazies, but hey, we do it together. And we're going to ride together with this team right to the top. And I love each and every one of you. I cannot thank you enough for I'm surprised every time I make these late night ones. You guys are awesome. First time at the link, he's going to have a tough time. And Jonathan Gannon, first time coming back, gonna have a tough time. My mom, what are you doing up? You need to get some sleep. Told me you needed to be up by 7 o'clock on Sunday. You haven't been doing that. You need to do it tomorrow. So get yourself some sleep. Get up early tomorrow. But I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate the kind words. I love you. Hope you have a great night. Love you truly, truly. And I will talk to you tomorrow. But you guys are awesome. I love you all. Nina, yo, you guys are awesome. Seriously, it is midnight right now, and you guys are still rocking with me. You're some true diehards, some sickos. I love each and every one of you. Hope to hear from you tomorrow. If you enjoyed the show, do me a favor. Hit that like button. You can always subscribe. Love to see that love being shared. China with the shout out to my mother. Let's go. We're all family here. So you guys are truly awesome. Cannot thank you enough, but have yourselves a great rest of your night. If I don't see you, have a great new year. Hope you had a Merry Christmas, happy holiday, whatever you celebrate. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all have yourselves a great night. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!